All right, so in today's video, I'm gonna be comparing RG versus FFG needles. And if you're new to embroidery, you're gonna run into all different types of needles. So these are the two most common ones that I use. And I'm gonna explain the differences between the two because there are scenarios where you're gonna have to use one over the other or when one works better over the other. I will say I personally use RGs more than FFGs, but when doing t-shirts or more elastic fabrics or more delicate fabrics, I like using FFGs because they are more gentle on the fibers. All right, so here we're gonna do a quick comparison of the RG and FFG. So Gross-Beckert makes both of these needles. I'm not sure if other brands make these. I'm pretty sure they do, but I always just stick to Gross-Beckert. My machine tends to like them. So you'll notice down here, this one says RG, this one says FFG. And if you look at them, like take them out and just observe them, they both look the same to the eye, but they will behave differently when you are actually embroidering. So let me explain the main differences between these two. So starting with RGs. So these are more sharp and the tip has a slight rounded shape to it. So it has a pointed tip, but it's not as pointed as, say, a completely sharp needle. These are still slightly rounded. So these penetrate more like a sharp needle point, but not as much damage as a completely sharp needle. So these are slightly rounded still. These are good for lightly woven fabrics that still need some piercing. So some fabrics these are better for would include, fine knits, microfibers, lightweight woven fabrics. When you want sharper penetration but not harsh cutting, like a completely sharp needle. These are also used sometimes for embroidery when the fabric is fairly stable. So hats, this is a really good one for hats. Now these do have a slightly higher risk of punching through or causing micro tears or damage to stretch or fine knitted fabrics because the tip is less blunt. But again, these work great on knitted fabrics, microfibers, and lightweight woven fabrics. RG can handle a wide array of different fabrics for these. Now jumping to the FFG, which on the bottom left you see FFG down here. So these have a more ball tip. These are way gentler on fabrics, they cause less damage, and they tend to push fibers apart rather than cut into them. So these are better for knits and stretch or delicate fabrics. So I would definitely use these on knitted fabrics, fabrics with stretch, delicate woven. These are really great for t-shirts, sweatshirts, or any stretchy synthetics. They're also good when embroidery is being done on knit or stretch garments so you don't damage the loops. So if you're ever noticing puckering on your shirts or tearing on your shirts, it may be because you're using RG needles, and that's when you would want to jump to an FFG needle and try that out. Now, just to illustrate real quick how these behave, RG versus FFG. So an RG tends to pierce the fabric. So this is kind of what it does, and it penetrates the fabric. So it can sometimes leave small micro tears in there. FFG needles tend to push the fabric rather than pierce the fabric. So whenever the needle goes in, it separates the fabric, and then when the needle goes out, it just goes back in together. So yeah, you get the point. So if you're dealing with very delicate fabrics, definitely try out FFG needles. But for everything else, give RG a try. If you start running into issues with t-shirts on this one, just buy a pack of FFGs on Amazon, and they should do the trick for you and give you way cleaner and better results on your t-shirts and your garments.